Hold on. Let's just jump right in there. I don't have video on you.
It was good. Oh, you don't have video?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. How was the break, sir?
It was fantastic.
All right, and I think your cam may be messed up, or what your feed, I should say. Let me just fix that for you real quick. So we already have game number 1 just about underway and ready to start here.
Excellent.
So perfect timing. We are back. This is going to be the finals, a best-of-7 finals. Epex Apocalypse versus Ninja Penguins, a rematch from yesterday, essentially.
Yep, and we're going to have to see if this goes the distance like it has before. Epex and Ninja Penguins, no stranger to each other. They have taken a game, or taken the series all the way to the final game before in the finals of yesterday. So we'll see if that again happens today. Both of the monsters for Ninja Penguins and Epex have had success this tournament, so we'll have to see if these hunter sides for both teams continue to hold strong against these monsters that have proven that even though this week has been mostly hunters taking the victories, their monster is still at a high enough level where they can take games as well.
All right, and it looks like, are they going to restart? Hopefully in just a second.
Yep, so this is a very, very important match here. It's going to be setting the tone for the rest of this series. If the monster can get a quick win, that would probably be the best case scenario for these teams, just because the hunters winning so many of these games, if the monster can get out ahead of it for this team, if they're able to pull down that win as a monster, they must be incredibly excited, because that just opens the door for a great series for that team.
Yeah, it definitely does. And what do you think Ninja Penguins is going to do? They've already shown their ability to play slim at a competitive level. Do you think they only save that for tiebreakers? Or do you think that they feel comfortable enough to actually pull out slim in an initial game?
I think that they will save it as a card to play. They don't really want to make that play this early, because even if they get that first win, they're going to be giving the monster experience playing against slim. And really what they want to do is only pull that out when they know that Kyra is going to be banned. So then when Slim does come into play, that monster will not have had the opportunity to get used to the play style of a Slim team.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. If they do pull it out early, especially if somehow, you know, they mess up, they make even the slightest misplay and manage to lose that game, it'll put the monster in very confident footing against Slim play in a potential tiebreaker.
Absolutely. Yep, so it looks like we are going to see this standard pick here, with Kyra being the medic, getting Hank on support, and then Abe, we've seen him all day today with his deadly tracking dart, not allowing the monster to run, and then also Torvald coming up as the assault against Shenanigans, who has proven that he is a very effective Kraken.
Right, and here we go. Once again, thank you all so much for tuning in, folks. This is the finals. Thank you for all the follows, for all the support today. If you haven't done so already and you do want to support the channel, just hit that follow button down below. It only takes a second, and it's completely free. You will get notified anytime we go live for any of the other events that we do throughout the week that we've already talked about on the show, and we'll talk about more before this tournament is over. But right now, we've got a game underway. For Team Epex as the monster, we have Epex Call Shenanigans playing the Kraken. And for Team Ninja Penguins, Team NJP dropping in off the dropship right now. On Assault, we have Nightwayne playing that Tier 4 Torvald, raise your mortars. On Medic, we have Savvy playing Kyra. And on Support, we have Spanners playing Hank. And rounding up the team with Trapper, we have Iru playing Abe.
Yep, so Abe trying to get over to Shenanigans and get that tracking dart. He does get it right off the dropship. So they're going to know where this Kraken is the entire match from this point on, unless Shenanigans can have a pretty slick play where he allows that tracking dart to fall off and then dodges the next one, but it's going to be tough for him to do. So now it'll just be how Shenanigans chooses to try to juke these hunters.
Yeah, we will have to see these two rock formations right here that the hunters are on one side of and the monster on the other. are great for the monster to use to juke the hunters around this area and make progress either to the northwest or the southwest of the map. But right now, he's just hiding behind that tree.
Yep, he's got a full evolve meter, so now he just wants to create distance between him and these hunters to be able to get that stage 2, because really stage 1 fights never really go in favor of the monster unless there's just some gross over or bad positioning by one particular hunter player in which he's able to get him down. But you can see Shenanigans just trying to run, shooting out that vortex, trying to create more distance between him and these hunters.
Yeah, and it looks like he will get at least some of the distance that he needs, but Iru here, playing it safe, running directly through the middle. That's a great cut right there. All he has to do is dip in on Call Shenanigans now, and with that tracking dart still active, they'll know exactly where he's going. He's probably going to the little cave right here, right overhead. I guess it's not really a cave, right? And he is going to take that evolve.
Yep, these hunters popping a cloak.
Fully cloaked.
Yep, so he's not going to have that cloak for the fight, though, which could, if the support gets focused, that could affect the ability for them to survive.
Interesting choice here. Once again, sealing off one side of that overhang, but the opposite side from what we saw in the semifinals.
Yep, so missing that initial aftershock, already down to half health, so Ninja Penguin's doing a ton of damage, but Savvy's getting focused here. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, drops in with the aftershock. The shield from Hank, though, protecting Savvy.
An all-out assault. Savvy just trying to stay alive. You see Hank shields coming in, keeping him up for just a little bit, but the shield is about to run out. This aftershock could take him down. Oh, he's got a sliver of health left. Savvy in much danger. So close to going down, and he does go down. Shenanigans losing a ton of health. He's getting punished, and now Savvy getting revived, and
he walks through that mortar strike right there.
Oh yeah, he's going down right here. There's nothing he can do, so a great performance by these Ninja Penguin hunters, just doing massive damage, 100% to 0 so quickly in that dome. Ninja Penguin showing really setting the tempo from the beginning and having a dominant dome fight right there. Even though Savvy went down, they punished him. They punished Shenanigans and got that health so quickly.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, it's about momentum, and it's clear that going into these finals, Ninja Penguins started off with the momentum, and they aim to keep that momentum. Epex now has an uphill climb from here on out, looking to take the next game back from them.
Yeah, really what we'll be looking for is a monster victory from either team. Epex has to get this win as the hunter side. Like, as hunters, you cannot be dropping a game. If one team gets a win on the monster side, to me, they would become the immediate favorite to take this series. Because normally what we'd see, and what we've been seeing throughout this whole entire tournament, is that hunter teams have been winning.
Yeah, hunter teams have been absolutely dominant, and like you called it earlier, the week of the hunters. We're seeing that time and time again here with very, very few monster wins this week.
Mm-hmm. So now it's just going to be up to Cajones to really have a solid performance and show us that he can take these hunters down despite them being so successful. And Cajones a long-time competitor. He knows what he has to do, and he knows that if he does indeed get that momentum, his team will be in a fantastic spot to take this game before it ever has to go to that final Game 7, which Ninja Penguins is so fond of competing in.
Yeah, they definitely love those tiebreakers, and Ninja Penguins, NJP, always shining in those tiebreaker rounds, even so far in this tournament, pulling out Slim, and I think probably becoming the crowd favorite here today. Just to throw out some quick statistics before we get into this next game on the other side of the matchup. In past weeks, we've always seen Monsters and Hunters very, very close, within 1% of each other for win-loss ratios. This week, though, Hunters are at 56.5% and Monsters at 43.5%. So a massive, massive difference there, James.
Yeah, I mean, they're showing, Hunter's showing that they are really taking advantage of these minor tweaks and really taking advantage of the extra time that they have to practice against these top-tier monsters. And you just got to wonder now, are these monsters gonna be able to respond? Are they going to be able to start taking victories in these clutch moments right now? And Kraken, really, the only monster that we've seen have success, besides the one victory that 187 had on Wraith, which he wasn't able to duplicate. But the Kraken Aftershock seems like it is the best chance for a monster to take home a win.
Yeah, I think you're right. Right now, that is probably the best chance. Wraith hasn't worked out so well, and even Goliath, it looks like a lot of Hunter players are becoming very, very used to playing against Goliath. Not to mention the punishment that Torvald is able to dish out to a Goliath is just ridiculous now.
Yeah, I would love to see a Behemoth come into play. I mean, I've been watching the Guidance stream his Behemoth play. He streams every so often. He's been doing it for the past couple of nights, just streaming his play of Behemoth, and he actually runs damage resistance and just is a tank inside of these domes. Like, he is all about committing, you know, fight or die. So I would love to see that in a competitive scene.
All right, and here we go.
Yep, so it looks like it's the same composition here, except they are going to be running a hide as the assault. So,
all right, this is game number 2 of Epex Apocalypse versus Ninja Penguins, and the new Epex team coming out looking to take their first win over Ninja Penguins monster player here today. Cojones as monster for Ninja Penguins playing Kraken.
Yeah, so he's going to try to just get his feet on quickly, and really we haven't seen any monsters today successfully be able to dodge Abe and Abe's tracking dart. It seems like the Hunter teams are so used to tracking these monsters right off of the dropship, they're able to get that mark without any issue.
All right, and this Hunter team dropping in right now. For Team Epex, we have Kildrith on Assault, playing Hyde. We have Bugsy on Medic, playing Kyra. For support, we have Nightmare, the team captain, playing Hank. And on Trapper, we have Wardoom, playing Abe.
So, yep, already getting that tracking dart in place on Cojones very quickly. But Cojones in the same situation that we saw Shenanigans in at the beginning of the previous match. He's got full shields and a full evolve meter. Now he's just going to have to try to find the space to be able to get that stage 2.
And look at that, Nightmare staying in front of Cojones, but getting sneak pounced in the process. Oh, and he gets an early down on Nightmare.
Yeah, so that's the situation that you have to avoid. He was all by himself, and he got pounced by Cojones, and Cojones was able to just do considerable damage, and, you know, there is no shielding that can be done. Nightmare can't shield himself, and Bugsy was not in a good position to heal him. So really just a free strike, basically, on Nightmare. He's got to be careful of that in the future, and now when Cojones does go stage 2, Nightmare's going to make a pretty juicy target already having that one strike.
All right, and switching to Assault now. Let's see if he can even... He's not going to even be able to close within range, I think. Yeah, it's just too far away. Nice dome, though, right there. Cojones is going to be sealed in and not able to escape from that side. And the rest of the team will be here in short order to see how much damage they can dish out on Cojones. Cojones dropping in with the Aftershock, hitting Kildrith. But yep. Kildrith quickly going to get healed up. Nightmare needs to be careful, though. He's on one strike and already taken some damage. Bugsy and Kildrith both hit right there. The shields come out on Bugsy, the medic. Yep. And Kildrith also passed to pop his personal shield. Bugsy might go down here.
Yeah, Bugsy already had to use that healing cloud. He just came up on cooldown again. He wasn't able to heal everybody, and he's still incredibly low. But again, we see Cojones getting so low, and the shield's coming back up. All these Hunters slowly getting healed up, so not a good situation for Cojones. It's slowly...
And the Sloth is in the fight as well.
Yep, it looks like he's not going to be able to do much. Even if he does get Bugsy down, he's got no life to work with. These Hunters doing a great job at dishing out damage, and he's going down, getting so low, and that's going to be it. He's finished off. And Epex, much like what we saw in the first matchup, almost completely identical, getting 100% of Cojones' health down in that dome. So even though the Nightmare got out of position and got that quick strike, it didn't matter in the end. Them having such a great dome fight, repeating what we saw in Game 1.
And now we see a momentum shift, I think. Epex showing that they are unfazed by what happened in the first game and that they are able to play just as well with their Hunter team. And like you said, even that one mistake on the part of Nightmare didn't really faze the team. They picked themselves back up and performed exceptionally well in that first Stage 2 dome, taking the monster from 100% to 0.
Yeah, that's just incredible damage that we saw from both of these Hunter teams. So these Hunter teams not flinching, and it's really going to be up to the monsters from either team. If we do see a monster victory, we should keep our eye on that team because, you know, as soon as they get that first game, if these Hunters can continue to perform for that team, they'll be able to most likely take that victory. So we'll just have to wait and see, though, if this trend continues of these dominant Hunter performances.
Yeah, I think that today's final series is really going to come down to which monster player is able to take a win first.
Absolutely. And we might not even see it, to be honest. At the rate it seems to be going, we might just see all the Hunter sides taking every victory, and then it'll come down to a Game 7 and tiebreaker.
All right, just sending a quick message to the other side to have them invite when ready. Looks like they're probably doing picks right now for the Hunters and the Monsters.
Yeah, and so really what we saw in both of those matches was just the inability of the Monsters to create the distance to get a clean Stage 2. Both of the Monsters were able to get away and evolve with full health, but they were not able to dodge those domes. And within one domes, they went down because, you know, they got domed, they had no shields, and then also just the nature of Aftershock Kraken, you have to be out in the open in the face of these Hunters to be able to have a shot at getting a strike. So we just saw, just because of the build that they're running, that they just didn't have enough shields or enough damage to take down these Hunter teams. So solid performance by both Epex and Ninja's side, not flinching in the face of that Aftershock Kraken.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Ninja Penguins decides to do this time. All right, we do have the third game underway. Currently tied 1-1. Both Hunter teams looking dominant over their respective monsters.
So we'll see if they even change up the Hunter picks this time in account of the map. But really, they have to be feeling pretty confident, not really dropping many games at all so far in this tournament. Savvy, you know, being the superstar, running slim, showing everybody how it's done, getting out of his comfort zone potentially. So I'm excited to see what's going to be coming up next. And if it does go to Game 7, I would love to see another slim pick. Yeah, we did see a successful Val comp run today with in combination with Torvald. You know, being able to use that Trank shot to outline where the monster is, give Torvald an easy target, and also slow down the monster to make it an even easier target. So double-fold, you know, twofold helping Torvald be able to hit those mortars. So the Val Torvald composition that we saw work today is also another option. So it is 1-1 here. A lot riding on the shoulders of this Epex monster. Shenanigans knows he needs to do whatever he can do to take this victory. These monster victories are so hard to come by. Every single one is worth its weight in gold. So he's going to head over here and try to start feeding and try to get as much evolve meter as he can before these Hunters come out of the dropship.
I don't know. Exciting, isn't it? If we stay here long enough, maybe we'll find out.
So we'll
I am
see.
not sure how that mute happened. Well, that's fixed. I've got to do it at least once every day, right?
Yeah, it's the trademark. You should get an emote for it.
Yep, I do need an Aegis mute emote. Well, we weren't saying anything all that important.
Yeah. When are we ever doing that, you know?
Well, at least it didn't happen during the action.
Yeah, you can see that tracking dart already up on Shenanigans. So now he's close to finishing off that evolve meter. And really, the moment of truth we'll see, and it's been the moment of truth in the last 2 matches, is how this stage 2 evolve is going to go.
Yeah, that seems to be the name of the game this week. And it's interesting, I was having a conversation about how much the meta has shifted last night. You know, when the game first came out, it was all about stage 3 relay fights. Then, after a few weeks, it shifted to stage 1 domes, and how much damage could you dish out at stage 1. And now it's all about that stage 2 evolve dome.
Absolutely, and we've seen how effective catching a monster at stage 2 evolve has been, both and especially against the Aftershock Kraken, which is a little bit difficult to run. I mean, if you run as an Aftershock Kraken, the hunters are going to be very bold, and they know they can pretty much have their way with you because you're not going to be able to dish out any damage just by the nature of Aftershock.
Alright, and Iru here, great cut on the part of the Trapper. Looks like Call Shenanigans is probably going to take the evolve inside of the caves here. He may hold it, though, with how close the hunters are. No, he is going to commit to it. So he does commit to that evolve. What are the hunters going to do?
It looks like he still hasn't thrown the dome yet.
Okay, he does throw it now. Great timing right there, right at the end. Sealing Call Shenanigans in right at the edge there.
Yep, so 3 Vortex, 3 Aftershock. This is going to be a tough situation. A race to the finish. We're probably going to see either Shenanigans come out on top or the Ninja Penguins team finishing off in this dome.
Alright, and Call Shenanigans taken in the air inside of the caves here. Firing down at Savvy. The medic drops him with the Aftershock. The shields from Hank will keep him up. Savvy roaches up the cliff, knocked back by the Vortex. Savvy getting low here. He's going to need that healing burst. He does pop that burst. It will be on cooldown now, and he rejoins the rest of his team while everyone else continues to dish out the damage. This Aftershock might finish him, but the shields from Hank, yet again, perfect timing.
Yep, he's got to hit this Vortex, and he does hit it, taking down Savvy. He's got enough health to potentially work with to take the rest of these hunters down. He can't let Savvy get res, but at the same time, he's got to finish off all the hunters in this dome, or potentially just live long enough to get out of this dome and take the strikes and run.
And look at how much damage he took, all for 1 strike on a medic.
Yep, and them trying to get him up. Spanner's really close. He's trying to get a little bit greedy, trying to get that strike on Spanners, so he's got to be careful here that he doesn't overcommit. He does lose some permanent health there, and in the end, he does finish killing Savvy, so if he is able to get some shields here, he could finish it off right now.
I don't think he has enough health to pull this off. He does take Spanners down, but with Nightwayne and Iru up, he's got to be very, very careful. A single mortar strike could finish him. He's going to get a little bit of armor here. This could be the game that we've been waiting for when a monster actually takes a win and seals the deal for one of these teams here. Aftershock onto Iru. Iru, the Trapper, is now down, and Shenanigans is going to stay in to finish him off. No, the rest of the team there in short order with mortars covering the body, trying to chase Call Shenanigans away. He's going to back off, finish it off from a distance. The Aftershock right there is going to hit Spanners. Spanners down to half. Call Shenanigans has got to back off, though.
Yeah, Spanner's calling in that orbital defensively, but this Sloth is going to be epic for him if he can get it. He does get enough armor to probably go back in and finish off Spanners, and then it's just going to be him versus Nightwayne in a fight to the death. 55 seconds left on the dropship, so if he's able to take out Spanners, then you'll be in a great position to take the first victory as the monster in this matchup. But Spanners with a great cloak running into the water to make sure his footsteps are hidden. So now we're probably just going to see Shenanigans run to try to get stage 3 before this dropship happens.
Yeah, I think at this point, that is the best thing for Shenanigans to do. Back off, finish off that evolve. No, he's actually going to go in. He wants more punishment, I think. It looks like he's actually going to try and hunt down this Hunter team with only 20 seconds left. Nightwing firing off those mortars. Shenanigans moves in, though, gets out of range. Sneak pounce onto Nightwing. Spanners is going to have to come in and save him, but Spanners is running. He's just going to let him go down.
So right here, you see him.
Oh, and look at what Call Shenanigans did.
Very smart.
Backing off at the last minute. Brilliant.
Yeah, because what we just saw there was he stopped taking down the assault because he knew that if he were to take down the assault right there, the assault would get back on the dropship. Now, waiting till the dropship is over and taking him out right now, that means that he's going to be able to fight this Hunter team for another good 2 minutes before Nightwing can get back into the fight.
Absolutely brilliant play on the part of Call Shenanigans right there, waiting until the last minute, backing off, and then killing Nightwing after the dropship timer had already completed.
And that's actually a bit longer than 2 minutes, I believe. Is it 2 minutes and 30 seconds? It's a long time to go without a player on your team. And now all 3 of these Hunters that are left have strikes, and he's going to be able to get this Stage 3 evolve with no danger. So he's going to get this Stage 3 and be able to armor up completely, and now add, most likely, Lightning Strike, a 3-point Lightning Strike into his arsenal. And now with all these Hunters having a strike, it's going to be much easier for Shenanigans to take the win.
This is, without a doubt, a terrible situation for these Hunters to be in. Shenanigans may even be able to finish them before Assault drops back in. They're not really going to have the damage output, and if Shenanigans can feed very, very quickly and get his armor up, he will be able to take the fight to the Hunters.
Absolutely. It's going to be up to Kyra and Hank to keep these players alive. Whoever Shenanigans focuses, they're going to have to make sure that they don't take team damage here. If Shenanigans is able to do damage to multiple Hunters with one ability, that would be devastating. They all need to make sure that they're spaced out evenly and able to help each other out.
And here we go. Shenanigans not waiting until he gets full armor. 1 minute on the clock. He knows he has enough armor. Missing only 1 bar. That's enough for him to advance on this Hunter team and potentially finish all 3 before the dropship comes in, if he can get there quick enough.
Yeah, so it's just going to be his choice, probably whoever he gets that first damage output on. He misses the Lightning Strike, so not the best start, but he still is doing some damage to Savvy. Savvy having to use that healing cloud, and now the aftershock getting eaten by the shield, so he's still doing a ton of damage. That Vortex doing a ton as well. Savvy getting really low. If that Lightning Strike hits, it would be over, but he missed it. But Savvy's still not out of it just yet.
Call Shenanigans drops back in with that aftershock. The shields, though, from Hank, keeping Savvy alive, if only for a moment. The Vortex does finish him off, and he covers the body with a Lightning Strike to add additional damage. Looks like he's going to stay on the body now, I think. Trying to focus down the body of the medic rather than taking out support.
Yeah, but now you can see Savvy coming right off of that dropship, and now Shenanigans is stuck in this dome with no shields and all Hunter players up. So this quickly turned around, but Spanner's going down quickly. The monster is gonna have to do a ton of damage right now and get these players down as quickly as possible before his health runs out.
Well, they haven't actually dropped in yet. He's already got the 2 Hunters on the ground down, and the other 2 are in the sky right above him, waiting to drop in to what will probably be their doom. They need to be very, very careful here. There's no protection for Savvy at all. Shenanigans comes in with the aftershock on the medic, misses Lightning Strike, also dodged by Savvy as well. The Vortex does nail him. He pops the healing burst, and those mortars are going to force Shenanigans away. Yeah,
that's the right combo to have up in this situation. If you have your assault, you can be dishing out that damage, and then Savvy is able to heal, but still, this is going to be a 2 on the monster. You know, this is a situation where you need all 4 players. So now, all Shenanigans has to do is what he's doing right now. Get those shields and come back in. Savvy is not going to be able to keep himself up through this next barrage.
I don't think he will be able to either, and the Lightning Strike almost takes him out right there. Auto attacks could finish him, or a Vortex. Hits the aftershock in the air.
Yep, so now it's up to this lone assault. Nightwing, he's got a big task ahead of him. He's got to survive for 1 minute and 20. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, and that pounce is going to finish it. The first monster victory going to this EPEX side. Solid job by Shenanigans, clutching it for his team, and that is such an important win right there. Now, just inching Epex closer to a finals victory.
Yeah, that could have been the win that they needed, that singular monster win. It's up to Cojones now, the monster player for Ninja Penguins, to pull back a win for his team as a monster.
Yep, he's gotten to see how Shenanigans approached this match and how he was able to take that victory, but it's going to be tough and really, really needing to respond. Cojones has to get this victory if he wants his team to be in a good spot.
All right, just sending a quick message. Let's back out before they keep talking. There we go.
Yeah, so we saw a successful stage 2 fight there. He was able to get those players down, and really a moment of great decision making when he was able to get when Shenanigans was able to get all those strikes and be able to stay in the fight and slowly, going out, dipping out of the fight, getting a little bit more shields, going back in. The work that he was able to complete in that stage 2 fight was just phenomenal, and it's what set him up to ultimately take that victory.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. That's exactly what it did. And let's see, I think they're almost ready to start game number 4 here.
And a very important game if the Epex Hunter team, which has been looking very strong, takes this match. It's going to be 3 games in favor of Epex, and then it'll just take one more victory after that to close out the finals. And Epex, no stranger to victory, being a multi-time champ in these Sunday Cups. So Ninja Penguins, though, is saying, hey, I'm not out of it yet. You're only 1 game ahead, and we've been the champions for these last couple tournaments, so don't count us out just yet.
Yeah, they are definitely not out just yet. We still have plenty more games to go, a minimum of 2 more. Yeah, a minimum of 2 more, and potentially more. All Ninja Penguins has to do is win a couple more games, tie things up, and they could easily take the win or push it into a tiebreaker, into a final 7th game.
Absolutely. So now it's just up to Cojones see if he's able to successfully have that stage 2 fight. We saw Shenanigans able to have that successful stage 2 fight, which ultimately ended up in the win. So now really just highlighting the importance of when to evolve and where to evolve, and then how to approach that fight. So Cojones, a lot ahead of him here, and in a very, very important game 4, which is going to decide kind of not the motivation, but the momentum that these teams have.
Yeah, if Epex takes a win here and goes up on Ninja Penguins 3-1, the momentum that they have might be too much for Ninja Penguins to overcome. They'll have such a huge deficit to come back from.
Yeah, but one thing that I've learned is never count Ninja Penguins out, especially after what we saw in the last week's Cup, getting down 2-0, and then even in that elimination or that match which they could have gone down 3-0, being able to win that fight on the relay in MedLab. I'm just not going to count them out in any situation after witnessing that.
Yeah, they have shown time and time again that they are able to maintain their cool in any situation. We'll just have to see if that's going to hold true today as well. Once again, folks, thank you all so much for tuning in today. Thank you for all the views. Thank you for all the follows and all the support. If you haven't done so already and you do want to support the channel, just hit that follow button down below. It's completely free, only takes a moment, and you will get notified anytime we go live throughout the week for these Sunday Cup broadcasts or anything else. As well, you can also follow James and I on Twitter at the links in the bottom right corner of the screen. We've got game number 4 underway right now.
Yep, so Cojones is just going to try to get his evolve meter up as much as possible, utilizing this stream here to hide his tracks. Going to try to feed, and hopefully the RNG will be on his side in terms of not getting birds, but really he just wants to eat as much food as possible and getting off to a good start finding this mammoth bird.
Let's get some hype up in chat for both of these teams. Let's take a live poll right now for you guys to vote on who you want to win. If you want Ninja Penguins to come back from this deficit, bring the momentum back into their favor, let's get some PogChamps in chat. And if you want Epex Apocalypse to continue winning here today and seal the deal, clinching the finals in their rematch from yesterday against Ninja Penguins, then let's get some OPOPs in chat.
So now is a critical situation because he has this full evolve meter and Abe has not gotten this tracking dart on him. So if he can juke here, that would be an awesome setup for him. But you can see there, Abe getting that tracking dart, and now Cajones is just going to be trying to run, and it's probably going to evolve in the exact same spot that we saw Shenanigans involved in the last match.
Yeah, for sure. Monsters almost always evolve inside of those caves there. It's so safe from a Hank orbital. It's a very, very tight space and generally a good place to at least try and fight the hunters. Although today we've seen some interesting domes. It's very, very obvious by the way that trappers are doming today that they've been practicing precise dome locations against common evolve spots.
Absolutely, and you see Wildlife taking out Kyra there, and both the Assault and the Medic very low on health, so that's going to slow him down just a little bit going into this fight.
Wardoom does have that dome down, just like Ninja Penguin's Hunter team, sealing Ninja Penguin's monster in this time.
Yeah, but you can see Kildrith already having to blow his personal shield because he was so low from that Wildlife engagement.
Yeah, that's a bad position to be in. They could lose their assault early if they're not careful, but Kildrith quickly getting healed up by Bugsy here. Nice medic play from Bugsy, a former monster player. And Cajones now looking to single out Bugsy. The shields from Hank may keep him alive, but for how long is Cajones going to be able to seal this out? He does take Bugsy down, but Bugsy's still close to maximum health. Kildrith comes in for the res, but the aftershock lands on Kildrith. He may be able to finish off Assault here.
Yep, and now none of these players can get heals anymore, so Cajones might be just trying to finish the fight right here. You just got to make sure that this medic does not get rezzed up, but also he's just losing a ton of health right now, so it might just be too much for him, but he is getting these players incredibly low, and as soon as that shield comes off of Kildrith, he'll be an easy target.
And their medic is now dead. Wardoom may go down. Kildrith may go down as well. Cajones is going to run, though. He's not going to turn around and fight.
Yeah, he knows that these players can't get healed up, so he's just going to try to get these shields before he goes back in, because all of them are just one vortex away from being killed. So a smart play getting these shields, but now they're just going to try to run and try to survive for the duration of this dropship.
He's got to make a move quickly. I think he wants to get at least Kildrith and Nightmare down before this dropship comes back in. Yeah, to really maximize his the losses that he suffered in that Stage 2 dome.
Absolutely, and really, Nightmare is going to be the hardest one to track down, and whoever's going with Nightmare, because Nightmare has that ability as support to bring a cloak to the table. So whoever's around him in that short area is also cloaked. So as soon as the monster starts coming in their area, they'll probably blow that cloak and just stand still and try to dodge. But it looks like the strategy that Cajones is going to do is try to get Stage 3 quickly and then shield up on Stage 3 before he begins hunting these hunting these hunters down.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he didn't chase. He had a great opportunity to get a few easy strikes in.
Yep, and he still hasn't even finished off his evolve meter. He's got to find some food in here, and it looks like
he's going to find it right there.
Yeah, so he will be able to get to Stage 3. Now he's just going to want to get some food, and he'll have a decent amount of time, probably enough to maybe find either Wardoom or Kildrith and Nightmare. But we'll just have to wait and see how he plays this. This is a critical decision-making moment.
And even for Stage 3, he doesn't have the health against a fully healed Hunter team. 3 seconds left on that dropship. Once that hits 0, the medic will be dropping, or the assault will be, the medic, I'm sorry, will be dropping in short order. We can see that right now.
Yep, and you can
and
see
then
all
this
the
Hunter
players.
team is going to be healed up.
Yeah, and they're all grouped up now, so they could all take advantage of that cloak by Nightmare. So it's unlikely that we'll see Cajones get any more marks before Kyra comes down. But they are very low, so if he can get there quickly enough, he might be able to have the scales tip slightly in his favor. And he is Stage 3, so he's got quite a bit of damage that he can deal. But yeah, that was a lot of work for just one strike on the medic.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that he wasn't able to get another strike or two to make all that health loss worth it. And we can see now the Hunter team just backing off. They're going to set up in a defensive position around the relay. Let's see where they choose. I think they're just going to set up in the standard spot and probably try and use the ship here as additional cover.
Yeah, that is a popular spot to kite against a Goliath and even a Wraith. But against an Aftershock Kraken, it's a little less effective of a spot, but still effective just because of him being able to go on top of that ship and cast Aftershock and also be able to cast lightning around corners. So it's not as great against a Kraken, but still a good spot to fight. And now, you know, only one strike on Bugsy's too. So these Hunters have to be very happy with that outcome after what could have been, you know, it could have been either a loss altogether or a strike on up to 2 or 3 Hunters. So they have to be happy about the situation they're in, considering the circumstances.
Yeah, Epex is looking to be in a great position against Cojones here. And Cojones does come in. We're going to have the first of what may be more than one Stage 3 relay fight. We'll have to see how Cojones does.
Yeah, he's dipping out, already losing about half of his shields before he even hitting any of the Hunters. So he needs a much better engagement than that. Would not be surprised to see him come out, shield up, and then maybe even just hang out and wait for that Abe tracking dart to go off. But really, they're going to see where he's coming from. There's really no way he's going to be able to have a great engagement unless he just gets a very, very well-placed lightning strike.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs. He needs to open up with an almost perfect lightning strike, which will allow him to create some confusion and potentially focus down one target very early. We can see them firing at him already.
Yep, they knew exactly where it was, that dart coming off, and not being refreshed yet. But he is entering the fight backwards so he can make use of that mitigated damage, not taking those face shots. And he does get an Aftershock that eats up a lot of Hank's shields and also does some damage to Kildress, so Hank shields will be out of it for just a little bit, and now he's just got to start focusing these players down and choosing War Doom because he knows that he needs the ability to get out of this dome quickly.
The dome does come down though. He's got no armor and below 1/3 of his health left. The orbital kind of thrown out there, maybe as cover, doesn't really do anything though. The lightning strike at the last minute on War Doom takes War Doom out. Cojones is going to back off, I think, get some armor, and then come back in.
Yeah, so still, I don't know if it's enough to keep him in this match. He was able to get that strike on War Doom, and he has a strike on Bugsy as well. But as you saw, that Hunter team is just eating through his shields and getting down into that permanent health territory very quickly. And one strike is not enough to really make it a sure thing when you're trying to focus one of them down. So it's not over yet, but still slightly tipped in the favor of the Hunter side at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely not over, but I would say that Epex has to make a gross mistake that Cojones is able to exploit for Cojones to take a win now.
It's all going to come down to how well he enters the fight. If he's able to get a good engagement, he can still do it. If he's able to open up on Bugsy or War Doom before taking a ton of damage, then we might be able to see him pull this off.
Yeah, he may. We'll just have to wait and see. You can see him dropping in now with that Aftershock active. Hits Kildreth and Nightmare. The support lightning strike on War Doom does miss the lightning strike there, and the shields come out to keep War Doom alive. He's looking to be in a good position with a lot of armor here, but he needs to find one target to focus. Aftershock onto War Doom. There's almost no damage, and Cojones is going to back off again before losing any more permanent health.
Yeah, so at least he was able to get away without getting domed there. And now, fortunately, finding this mammoth bird chilling out on this roof here, so he's able to get some shields quickly. He's going to want to get back in there. Time will probably start becoming a factor here pretty soon, but he is able to, well, he's 10 minutes, so time is actually on his side. He's got quite a bit of time left to continue to poke these Hunters, but it's going to be continually harder every time he's not successful.
Look at that. Once again, coming in backwards, using all the limbs of the Kraken to help mitigate the damage. Limb shots are only 50% damage, and he drops in with that Aftershock. Protected, though, by Hank with the shields. Very little damage dealt out there, and another dome comes down.
Yep, so awesome job by War Doom dodging that lightning strike. Not going to be able to dodge that Aftershock, but the Hank shield eating a lot of that damage, but War Doom continually getting focused. He is in danger right now. He just has to survive. Oh my goodness, the impermanent health, so it looks like Cojones is probably going to be going down here, but he does get War Doom at the last second and is able to get out with almost no health. So he just needs to continue repeating this, and the Hunters might even chase him down at this point. But no, they do decide to stay on the relay, and wow, what a great job by Cojones getting that last second down on War Doom, keeping him alive to fight another day.
Yeah, great play by Cojones there. You have to wonder, though, how much food is left on the map. At some point, while wildlife will respawn very, very slowly, at some point, if the monster is feeding too much, he will eat all the food out of the map.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'll be continually harder if he has to do these hit and runs, but he's done what he's needed to do to get War Doom into a position where one lightning strike and auto attack, or one aftershock and auto attack might be enough to just take him out of the fight altogether. So once you get those 2 strikes on a Hunter, very easy targets, and then if he's able to follow that up with a quick down on the medic, he could turn the scales in his favor.
Yeah, he definitely could, but he needs to play this perfectly in order to take a win here. Nothing short of perfect will allow Cojones to win. The lightning strike dodged by War Doom. He comes in with the aftershock, hits the assault, and the dome comes down. Sneak pounce onto War Doom. He's got to finish War Doom before he loses his shields and actually get a kill. This lightning strike might hit. No, War Doom dodges it, and the orbital coming down into the aftershock. This is bad for Cojones. The orbital from Nightmare finishing Cojones off.
Yep, so Cojones there, he fought valiantly, and he came close, but in the end it just wasn't enough. You know, he's probably going to go back and think back, rewatch this, and see maybe if he should have pursued those Hunters there when he had the opportunity with both or all 3 Hunters left up after Bugsy went down. All of them were so low, and he chose to go stage 3, which in the end ended up not working out for him. So he's probably going to go check that out again, but still an exciting match and very close.
Yeah, that was exceptionally close. Well done to Cojones there. He hung in for a very long time and looked like he may have been able to take it right at the end there. But that aftershock into the orbital combined with the rest of the Hunters going full damage on him just was too much for the little bit of health he had left to survive.
Absolutely.
All right, let me send a message to the other side real quick. We will get into game number 5 right away. Ninja Penguins 1 game away from elimination here today. And Apex Apocalypse 1 game away from taking the finals here today and winning their rematch against Ninja Penguins from yesterday.
Absolutely. You know, they're thirsting for revenge and really quite successful up to this point, being able to get that critical monster win in the last matchup between the Hunter and Monster squad of Apex and Ninja Penguins. So now, if the Monster can pull down this second win, which is definitely not going to be easy, but he could secure the victory and the win of this whole entire tournament here if he's able to pull it out.
Yeah, we will have to see. Call Shenanigans already showing that he can go head-to-head with the Hunters of Ninja Penguins. We'll have to see if he can do it again. And, you know, I have to wonder at this point, are they just going to pick Slim instead of Kyra? They've already shown how well it worked for them once. Do they feel comfortable enough using Slim in a game like this?
And it might be, you know, the last time they used Slim, it was against a Goliath. So I wonder if they might even have a different combination lined up for when they have to go against Kraken and they want to mix it up a little bit. So I think if I had to guess, I would think that they would still run their standard Kyra comp that they've been running up to this point. But I don't know. It could be something mixed up. They could decide to go with that single target healing of Val, potentially.
Now, that would be an interesting choice.
Yeah, but if I had to guess and I had to put my money on it, it would definitely be Kyra. Kyra is a very strong medic.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, although I would like to see a Slim pick. I think that that would be really cool to see Slim again in what may be the last game of the day.
Absolutely. So Orbital drilled the map. This is Game 5. It could be the deciding match point for Apex if they're able to pull out a victory here, playing on the Monster side. Ninja Penguins Hunter team falling just short in the last match, having to step up to the plate and win this Game 5 to keep Ninja Penguins alive in the tournament.
Yeah, and it should be noted that a lot of hunters still don't like Orbital Drill. Orbital Drill is one of the most frequently banned maps in the ESL.
And we can see Kyra locked in, Abe, Torvald, and most likely Hank, if I had to guess, getting locked in here. Against the Kraken of Shenanigans. Oh, they mix it up. Go with Sunny. So we haven't seen Sunny play just yet by Ninja Penguins, I believe. Maybe they did break it out one match, but yeah, mixing it up just a little bit. Maybe trying something new, allowing their team a little bit more mobility with Sunny now. She has that shielded drone, which allows the players to get shielded, and now you can see her holding that boost gun. Or that might have been the grenade launcher, but she does have the boost gun as well, which can help teammates jetpack straight up in the air or away from the monster.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how well they can use that here today. You know, Kyra, already a strong medic, and Sunny just makes her that much stronger by being able to help her evade with that boost gun that you were talking about.
Yep, Kyra having that speed boost as well, that kind of aura, that field that allows your teammates to run faster. You pair that up with Sunny's boost gun, and it's going to spell a lot of pain for the monster trying to run away.
Yeah, they should almost always be able to dome the monster anytime they want to now.
Yep, especially if they find Shenanigans right off the bat and they're able to get that first tracking dart, then there's no way that tracking dart's not going to stay on him 100% of the game with Sunny and Kyra.
All right, and the Hunter team for Ninja Penguins dropping in right now. Will they be able to take back a win here against Apex and bring them one game closer to a deciding tiebreaker?
So yeah, they're going to want to find him very quickly here, looking for footprints, kind of spreading out. So now it's a critical moment here. If he's able to continue to dodge these tracking darts, it could be a disaster for Ninja Penguins. So you can see those mortars doing a little bit of damage there, though. So they're hot on his trail, pressing pretty quickly. So now he's just going to want to finish up getting these this evolve meter, which he might be done potentially in one more piece of food. So getting very close. Still no tracking dart, but you can see that Sunny boost gun coming into play, and now he's got to hit the shot, and he does. So the monster is tracked. Now it's going to be a lot easier for these hunters to stay on top of Shenanigans.
Yeah, from this point on, it will be nothing but a chase, I think. There's very little Shenanigans can do to escape from these 45-second tracking darts, especially with the boost gun from Sunny. Call Shenanigans, though, he may actually have the opportunity that he needs, dropping that vortex to cover his escape.
Yeah, he hit
backing away
again. Yeah, he hit 3 players with that vortex, so really solid aim right there.
Looks like a total of 3 tracking darts missed there. 1 initially, and then 2 more in quick succession. So Shenanigans may be able to time this dart out.
Yeah, that would be huge if he's able to time that dart out. Or even, you know, you see he's over 100 meters away. He might even be able to just get the evolve straight up. But no, that Sunny boost, you can see him coming into play here. Probably going to boost this trapper into position. You can see how much ground he was able to make up right there, already throwing this dome.
And look at that. Rune playing Assault this game. Firing away at Call Shenanigans as he's evolving. Call Shenanigans drops in now with that Aftershock. Savvy is so low already, down below half health. Already popped that healing burst. Savvy may go down here. 1 or 2 more hits will finish Savvy off. And Savvy needs to escape. Drops in again with the Aftershock. But Savvy is actually down below. And oh, the sneak pounce!
Critical play. He's got over half his health to work with, and he just has to make sure that Savvy doesn't get back up. He's got to kill these hunters one by one while preventing the res.
Apex looks like they may be taking the win here. They may get their rematch game against Ninja Penguins.
Yeah, so he ended up making a smart play, realizing that he wasn't going to be able to defend Savvy's body to continue to do damage. So what he did there was just decide to switch focus while the other hunter was busy rezzing and get that other strike on Nightmare, or on Nightwayne. So he now has a strike on the Trapper and the Medic, both really good targets to have strikes on, so he's got to be very happy at this point in the game.
Yeah, this is a great position for Shenanigans to be in.
Yep, already up at full shields on stage 2. Now if he catches Nightwing out of position or is able to focus him, he might be able to get a second strike pretty easily.
Shenanigans comes in again. Savvy boosted away by Sunny, but Shenanigans able to continue to stay on Savvy, and Savvy's down below half. She's got a boost out of that Aftershock. The Aftershock clips her. One more hit will take Savvy, the medic, down yet again, and the dome comes down as they lose their medic.
Yeah,
they've got to get the medic back up.
Yep,
this could be a loss here.
Yeah, this is the moment of truth. They're going to have to play this flawlessly to get through the shields and the health of Shenanigans. It doesn't look like that's going to happen as Nightwing is pounced and he is down as well. The medic is getting revived with no health left, basically. So Savvy is up and Nightwing is also going to get up. But you've got to be happy if you're Shenanigans getting another strike on both the medic and the Trapper. These two hunters have 2 strikes on them, which is going to make it very easy to focus them down. So the odds definitely in Shenanigans' favor going into this game-deciding match here if he's able to take the victory.
Yeah, and never have things looked so good for Call Shenanigans as they do right now in this tense final match. 5.5 minutes into the game here. Rune getting boosted towards Call Shenanigans to stay in sight of him, able to dish out whatever damage he can, prevent him from feeding. But Call Shenanigans is already almost on his way to stage 3. A couple mortars in the air. Those will, yeah, definitely miss. Call Shenanigans drops that vortex to try and cover his escape as he exits into the cave there.
Yeah, they have to dome him before he gets full shields. If they can dome him at this point, they still have a chance, but you can see Nightwing getting attacked there by Wildlife, really throwing a wrench in that plan. If Shenanigans can get his shields back up, then it's going to be tough for them. And now the Mega Mouth going on Savvy. This is just falling apart for the Ninja Penguins team. They have to try to recover, though, and it's not over just yet. Shenanigans doesn't have full shields, so if they can still catch up to him and get a good dome and a good entry, then they can still pull it off, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, they have their work cut out for them. It looks like they have recovered fairly well from those crucial misplays right there. The Aftershock, though, on Nightwing. Nightwing down to a slice of life here. The Vortex does finish him off. Sneak pounce onto Savvy. Savvy's about to go down as well. The mortars will knock Shenanigans off of Savvy, but how much longer can Savvy stay healed? The Vortex finishes Savvy off as well. Now they have no medic and no Trapper.
Yep, and both those players, since they had 2 strikes on them, they're not able to get rezzed back up. So Shenanigans just going to try to find some quick food and get back in the fight to finish off these 2 players. It'll be harder to find Spanner since he does have that invis, but now both of these hunters in a tough spot, having to survive for the next minute and a half until their teammates come down on the dropship.
Yeah, they've got to get away and they've got to split. This is going to give Call Shenanigans a clean stage 3 evolve and a full armor meter as well.
Yep, he's going to want to try to get that evolve completed as soon as possible, which he's just finishing up right now. And he's probably maybe not going to get full shields, but enough to try to hunt these last 2 players down. It's going to be tough, though, with Spanners having that invisibility, but this is no new situation for Shenanigans. He's been in this spot before, and he knows exactly what he has to do to close it out.
3 points in Lightning Strike to finish off the trifecta of Kraken abilities here.
Yep, and we've seen him be very effective with that Lightning Strike and also Aftershock right there, really just having smart targeting, getting those players down, and Savvy and Nightwing just having to sit in anticipation for these last 30 seconds, hoping that their teammates can survive till they make it. And he does get full shields now, and the hunt is on. I wonder if he'll go for the relay to try to force these players out, or if he just straight up hunts them down.
I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. 12 seconds left. He may just try and get some damage on the relay.
So he's trying to get in smell range. If he can get in smell range of these hunters, then it could be bad news. As the assault, he spots and gonna be going down. Oh, just missing that. And now the assault trying to get in close enough to Spanners to be able to take use of that invisibility, and they're gonna try to dodge him for these last few seconds.
That boost, though, oh no, dropping him right next to an Armadon. He's got to be careful here. The Lightning Strike does hit Spanners. And this is bad with the rest of the team dropping in. He may still be able to finish Spanners off before the rest of the team drops in.
Yep, Spanners having that really good invisibility right there. That cloak allowing him to stay alive. But getting back on Spanners, the Hunters are coming out of the dropship soon. You can see Savvy coming in trying to save the day. But he might be going down right away. That Aftershock missing, so they've got a lot of work to do. A lot of players very low right here. Starting out with 2 strikes, and that Armadon coming into play as well. This is a tough spot if you're Ninja Penguins.
This is the worst kind of spot to be in. Aftershock finishing the medic off before Savvy really had a chance to dish out much healing. The Lightning Strike now misses Spanners, but does take out the shield drone. That will have to be replaced. And the mortars finish off the Armadon, so that's at least cleared out for now. Shenanigans with no armor, but the Hunter team with no medic. And yep. Nightwayne is dead as well. Shenanigans going to back off against Rune and Spanners, and it's down to support and assault once again.
Yep, so same situation they were in before. The support and the assault not taking any strikes, so even though he was able to take down Savvy and Nightwayne, they're not going to be in a worse situation than they were in before. They already have 2 strikes, so now Shenanigans is just going to have to use the time that he bought himself to come back and finish off these last 2 players within a minute.
And it looks like they're both escaping in the same direction, too. I'm assuming that they'll split at one point, one of them going south and one of them going northwest.
Yeah, they're going to want to set up in positions where they can make sure that if Shenanigans gets on the relay, they will be able to respond and keep him off of that relay long enough for their teammates to come back on the dropship.
Yeah, Shenanigans is not even chasing them. He's just going straight for the relay at this point. 45 seconds left to go, plus the time it takes for Hunters to drop in. More than enough time for a monster to finish off a full health relay.
Yeah, I wonder if busting through that door was the right call. If he would have gotten in the back, I don't know for a fact, but it might have been more difficult for the Hunters to shoot him. But still, they are getting taken out by wildlife. Oh no, disastrous. Now it's all up to Spanners, who's going to try to come in for the res, but I don't know if that's going to give him enough time to get Shenanigans off the relay.
This final game might be decided by a relay kill here if they can't get some damage onto Shenanigans immediately, and they do. So they will chase him off. That dropship timer will expire and allow the rest of the team to drop in, but will call Shenanigans be able to finish off these 2 Hunters before the rest of the team can drop in.
And you know what, it might have been working out for him a little bit that assault went down, because now he's brought up with more health, but Spanner's going down quickly, and his body is going to get taken out, so there's no way he's going to get rezzed up. Starting a new dropship timer, Spanner's going down, but you've got enough DPS, you've got the DPS of the assault and the trapper, Abe, but Savvy's going to have a lot of work to do trying to keep this team up, having 2 strikes already on herself.
And look at where they're dropping in. The lightning strike on Nightwayne as he drops in. Vortex to finish him off. Ninja Penguins on full tilt right now. The Aftershock hits Savvy. Savvy doesn't have much personal healing left. That lightning strike may finish Savvy as well, and it's just down to Rune. The assault. He has got to run. He's got to get away. There's no way he can finish this Kraken off by himself with that much armor and health.
Yeah, so this is just a matter of time. It's going to be almost impossible for Ninja Penguins to come back from this situation. We just saw a brilliant performance by Shenanigans, the monster player for Apex, putting himself in a great position to take home this final win, moving him on to the champions of this week's Sunday Cup. So it's going to be, yep, you see the pounce coming in, and that's going to be all she wrote.
That is it right there. No! He's knocked off for a second, but call Shenanigans, able to seal the deal a moment later with an auto attack.
Yep, great job by Call Shenanigans. Really pulling 2 monster wins for Apex, making the difference in this matchup. So big props to all of the players for Apex, doing a great job, doing what they needed to do to win these 4 games to Ninja Penguins 1 and having a dominating performance in the finals, taking home this victory.
Yeah, great job to both teams. They both played exceptionally well today. Ninja Penguins with that surprise slim pick as well. And, of course, winning the monthly finals yesterday versus Apex. So it's just been a back and forth. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens next week as the scene continues to develop. We know that Ninja Penguins and Apex seem to have a little bit of a rivalry going on now.
Absolutely. After these two finals, you've got to think the blood is boiling. A little bit of friendly competition and rivalry is certainly developing.
Yeah, for sure. We'll just have to wait until next week to see. Thank you all so much for tuning in, folks. As soon as we put up the closing screen, we'll be back just a moment after that for a raid, so stick around for that. We'll find an awesome channel to raid and stream bomb, whatever you want to call it. But for now, the Sunday Cup is over. If you haven't done so already and you do want to support the channel, though, make sure you hit that follow button. Follow JamesBot on Twitter as well. He is an awesome, awesome dude. We'll be back in just a moment for that raid. Stay tuned.